How's it going, guys? Dustin with Daily Grind Fantasy, and in today's video, we're going to be building out a PrizePicks 5 flex slip using some of the top MLB plays from the DGF Optimizer. If you guys are not subscribed to the channel already, go ahead, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button while you're at it, because it really does help us out, and we would appreciate it. But let's go ahead, hop over to PrizePicks and the Optimizer, talk through why we like these plays, and build out this 5-pick flex slip over here. So we're going to start it off with a year fee. So to score a run in the first inning, yes or no? We are going to say yes. In the Red Sox Royals game, there is going to be a run scored in the first inning, so more than 0.5 first inning runs. We can see here on the DGF Optimizer, looks like we're taking the over of 0.5 runs. It looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, right around 5 books have this right around that minus 140 to go over 0.5 total runs in the first innings. So pretty favorable odds to go over. We're going to go ahead and listen to the sports books, follow the data, in comparing all of these sports books. I mean, you got 5 of them compared to maybe 3 of them that are a little bit lower as far as the numbers go for these odds. Still, nonetheless, 54.24% odds to hit. Remember, in 5-pick flexes, we are looking for 54.34% individual fair odds percentage on your individual legs. So if you add up, or if you take the average of all the percentages we're going to use in this slip, it should be over that 54.34% for 5-pick flexes, which, if you guys don't know about the drop-down tab here on the DGF Optimizer, you can actually click 5-pick flexes, and it shows you everything that is plus EV for 5-pick flexes. However, you see that these are plus EV, but like I said, as long as you're getting above that 54.34%, you can take some of these lower ones, as long as you're having these higher ones that are gonna go ahead and get you above that percentage. So we're just gonna start there with that one. Now let's go just straight from the top. So this next play is going to come in the MLS. It's gonna be Camilo Sanvizio. I'm not sure I pronounced that exactly correct, but over 1.5 shots. Look here. Direct comparison to Underdog on this one. Underdog has the line set to 2, so we could take the over on PrizePicks at 1.5. You could actually take the under over there on Underdog if you wanted to middle it. If he gets 2, you technically don't lose both bets. It's an option for you as well. There's a couple plays in this slip you could actually middle along with that. So you could go over to Underdog and make that opposite side and try to middle these plays where the middle is the most accurate projection is what we always say. So we're going to go ahead and take the over here on PrizePicks. That's just a direct comparison. So we're going to go ahead take that. Next, Ronald Acuna, under 11.5 fantasy score. If you click this little button here next to Ronald Acuna's name, if you're on the Optimizer. If you're not on the Optimizer, what are you doing? There's a link in the description. 7-day free trials available. There's no reason not to give it a shot. 7 days, like it, continue on. Football season's coming up. It's going to be insane in the preseason. We've seen opening lines on Underdog and PrizePicks 15 yards off. We're able to find it on the Optimizer like that because it updates in real time, taking these sportsbook odds in real time. It's insane. So basically, if DraftKings were to have a fantasy score market, they would have this priced, or not priced, but projected about 9.9 fantasy score, which is 1.6 off from what PrizePicks has given this. So if we take the even lines on DraftKings, we get the projection of 9.5 for their fantasy score market, as opposed to the even lines for the stats that are making up the PrizePicks fantasy score. That is, so good difference there, minus 1.6 difference. So we're gonna go ahead and add back over to the MLB Ronald Acuna. Now I could care less. I'm sure if I click his last 5 game logs, which I'd never even do, but we can just do it for the sake of this video. Okay, he's hit 4 out of the last 5 games. Doesn't really matter to me. And actually, if we look, he's not facing the same team, either LA or Chicago. Different matchups, different pitchers, so many different variables going into this new game, right? So that's why we take our emotions out of it. Sportsbooks know that Ronald Acuna has hit his over 1.5 HRR or hit, whatever statistics on the sportsbooks. 4 out of the last 5 games, let's say. Doesn't matter. All of it's taken into account, the weather, the matchup, how good he is against this pitcher, this and that. Sportsbooks all take this into account. They're $1 million models and projections. So it's like, you don't even have to do this last 5 research, this last 10 research, when it's all put into it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not worried about taking the under of Ronald Acuna at all. If there is that big of a discrepancy when comparing to the sports books, or at least DraftKings here, if they had a fantasy score market, I am fine taking this every day of the week. So Ronald Acuna under fantasy score. Next, this one's actually going to come in Valorant, and then we're going to go to our last MLB play. So this play here, Sugetsu, I believe, I might be spelling that wrong. Sugetsu over 32.5 maps 1 and 2 kills. Looking directly at the optimizer, you can see here, Sugetsu is at 32.5 when direct comparison to Underdog is at 34.5. So a 2 kill discrepancy here in these niche markets like esports. It's easy to find these discrepancies because they're setting their own lines, much like all other sports books as well. But like in these niche markets, there's oftentimes huge discrepancies. I mean, we see 6 kill discrepancies. We've seen 6, 7, 8 kill discrepancies in League of Legends, which is wild when it's a lot harder to get kills in League of Legends than it is Valorant. But even a 2 kill discrepancy is pretty huge. So you could go over to the Underdog side and middle this as well, to where if it lands on 33, 34, you win, or technically don't lose both bets. Actually, you would win both bets in this case because there is no push. But so direct comparison. So that's 2 props you could middle between the soccer play and the Valorant play here. Next up, Aaron Judge over 7.5 fantasy score. Once again, when we compare it to the DraftKings market, we'll go ahead and look. Looks like DraftKings would have this projected close to like 8.8, so 1.3 off in favor of the over here for Aaron Judge. So we are going to take the over for Aaron Judge. Fantasy score here over 7.5, and that is going to actually round out the PrizePicks slip here. So it's going to be the Red Sox Royals over 0.5 runs in the first inning. Camilo Sanvizio over 1.5 shots, direct comparison to Underdog. Ronald Acuna Jr. under 11.5 hitter fantasy score. Sugetsu over 32.5 maps 1 and 2 kills. Aaron Judge over 7.5 hitter fantasy score. That's going to round out the slip, guys. Hopefully you guys did enjoy or you learned something. If you did, go ahead, drop a like, subscribe. Football season's coming up. Content here on the channel is about to get insane. And if you're not in the Optimizer already, what are you doing? Go ahead, sign up right now. 7-day free trials, linked in the description. Let's cash.